Amboseli National Park lies at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro and is known as the home of the African elephant. It's not considered a large park as it occupies an area of only 392 square kilometers compared to Masai Mara's 1,500 square kilometers. In Masai, Amboseli means salty, dusty place. True to its name, Amboseli is an extremely dusty place with fine orange dust floating through the air and settling on everything and anything. From the road, you can often see dust storms gathering in the distance, and sometimes it's unavoidable to drive through them. After a day in the Land Cruiser with the windows open, our bodies, hair, clothing, and pretty much everything else was caked in a layer of dust. The land between Amboseli National Park and our Airbnb Amboseli Bush Camp is contiguous, meaning that the animals can roam freely, though it takes 20 minutes to drive from one entrance to the other. We went to visit the park 2 mornings in a row, as the park entrance ticket is valid for 24 hours. Jackson is familiar with Amboseli, and the area is also Maasai, so we all felt right at home. After a few minutes in the park, Jackson spotted 2 cheetahs walking directly toward our vehicle. We stopped to watch an amazing interaction between the 2 cheetahs and a herd of wildebeest who were suspicious of the cheetahs' intentions. As the cheetahs walked through the herd, the wildebeest watched them with a careful eye. Once the cheetahs passed, some of the wildebeest even chased after them as if to show their supremacy in scaring them away. Closer to the middle of the park, there's an extensive system of wetlands and swamps. The wetlands serve as the only permanent source of water for the animals in Amboseli. The water comes from the underground springs fed from water trickling down from Kilimanjaro. The swamp supports an amazing diversity of animals in the park, including the Big Five, over 1,200 elephants, and 400 species of birds. Although water levels in the swamp are considered low, there appear to be enough water at the moment. Because of the drought, Maasai cattle herds have been allowed to graze in the national park because there's insufficient grazing land outside of the park for the herds to survive. This is another example of the accommodations that take place that we first observed in the Inankishu Conservancy, so the needs of all of the stakeholders are addressed. Jackson brought us to a small hill called Observation Hill to get a higher vantage point of the swamp and the park. In the waters, we could see huge groups of hippos and so many varieties of birds like the flamingo, African jacana, Goliath heron, Hartlob's bustard, marabou stork, and many more. All over the park lived up to its name of home of the African elephant, as we could see herds of elephants in every direction. The second morning, when we went back to Amboseli, it was a glorious day of elephant watching. Almost immediately upon entering the park, we saw Craig at very close distance by the side of the road. Craig is one of the largest male elephants at Amboseli and is called a tusker because of his massive tusks. Over the course of the morning, by Dean's count, we saw over 100 elephants in just a few hours. Some of the elephants got so close to our parked vehicle, I could look straight into their eyes, and it seemed that they were looking into my eyes too.